Right, I made the mistake of asking on YouTube what you wanted to see a video of. Some of your ideas were ridiculous. But anyway, here is the start of a day in the life. It's not going to be a full day because I'm going to have to edit this at some point today and get it out for tonight because, well, that's what I'm trying to do. So, I'm going to try and answer some of your questions whilst I'm at it and do some of the things that you've asked me to do. So basically, a lot of you have said, asked me questions about van builds and where I learnt to build vans and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really learn to build vans as such. I just happened to fall into it. So for those of you that don't know, because I have a YouTube channel, I did some work on my own van. I built a van in a couple of weeks for myself to live in because I was desperate for somewhere new to live after my Sprinter broke. And somebody messaged me saying, oh, can you fit some windows? I said, yeah, sure. So I fit those windows on camera, filmed it, put it on YouTube, and somebody asked me if I could fit a skylight and an inverter and that, and it just kind of evolved from there really. Then I ended up building a full van, and with every penny that I earned from that van, I bought tools. Every time I got some more money, I bought a new tool. Just evolved. It was an accident. I didn't mean that to happen. I didn't know that was going to be the thing that I did. I was happy just plodding along in life, and then it just carried on. It's escalated from there really. So I've not got formal qualifications in joinery or electrics or gas or plumbing or any sort of fucking business knowledge. Just learn on the go. But I'm lucky in that I've got a big enough channel to not have to advertise and market it and all that kind of thing. That kind of just is that. And then I've got a lot of friends that are electricians and plumbers and gas fitters and joiners and all that kind of thing. And so I just rely on them. I just rely on them to build my business for me. No, I just learn from them. So I watch other videos of people doing stuff. I've got lots of people that if I need electrical question, for example, I'll say, right, this is the situation I've got. These are the parts I've got. Do you wire it up this way or would you wire it up that way? And what fuse goes there and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically how I do it. Or I'll just pay one of them to do it, which has also happened quite a few times. So that is how I came about building vans, how it happened, just totally by accident. Didn't actually I want to have to work this hard, but as the saying goes, make hay while the sun shines. So while ever there's opportunity to do it there and make money, I might as well do it, because in 6 months' time I could be back on my arse again. I'd rather just have a bit of a safety net, help me out, you know what I mean? Anyway, that answers that question, I hope. If not, it's tough titties. Well, it was meant to be a day in the life, but real life got in the way. When I tell you I'm going through some shit, I'm going through some shit, right? So, what I'm going to do right now is finish off answering some of your questions. So it's kind of turned into a bit of a Q&A, but not, if you know what I mean. I'll film a day in the life some other time, but you pretty much see everything I do anyway. Anyway, right, let's go. Good old-fashioned Q&A. Well, this is kind of that anyway, so that's it. I've already explained to you how I got into building vans. Whatever you do. You're all so kind, by the way. You've said lots of nice things. Fucking hell, to be fair, it's just nice comments. How scribe profile of a van? We use a scribing tool for the most part, and pencils, and sometimes we make bits of wood, make our own scribing tools. Fobbing you off with that question, really. We use a scribing tool or make our own scribing tools. Well, I'll go through it one day when we get to that stage on another van, and I'll go through that one in more detail. More with the Wood Monkey. A lot of you guys can see Wood Monkey is in his van currently, so he's not involved in this video, but obviously he's involved in all my usual Monday night videos. Things you do with your children. Usually at the moment I try and spend time with my children rather than trying to record while I'm with them, so I don't include them too much, especially Alice, as I don't see her as often as Phoenix. Phoenix comes to work with me sometimes as well, so sometimes I get to film in, but I'll try and do some videos more about children in the van and all that kind of stuff. How I keep warm! I've got a diesel heater, but also I've got that. I'm not using that as much at the moment, just because it does get too hot, to be honest. I saw a thread the other day about people saying, oh, which one should I choose, a diesel heater or a wood burner? And everybody said both, and I agree with that to a certain extent, but the question was, which one should I choose? If I were going to choose one, I'd have the diesel heater, I'm afraid. I appreciate that the wood burner is off-grid and all that kind of stuff, but the way it heats the van, it's like, hot! And then the van goes cold. Hot! And then the van goes cold. At least with the diesel heater, you can have it warm. Consistently warm. So if I was going to choose, It'll be days later. Up to date tour of the van you did, the lorry. That will come. The lorry is meant to be coming back to us in the next couple of weeks for us to have a look at some things. Some of the LED lights have failed. The same LED lights as are up here actually, which is bizarre because none of these have. But some of theirs have failed. We didn't buy them, so it's kind of not our fault, if you know what I mean. It's just one of those things that happens. But we're going to replace them. How did I get? The cheapest way to get into van life. My Sprinter costs like £2.5 grand, so that's probably cheap. You can probably pick up a van for 600 quid. It'd be a small van, but it's a van. Use recycled materials, reclaimed materials. Use some of the stuff from your house. Use your mattress from your old bed in your house. You can do it on the cheap, and I know lots of people that do. In fact, a lot of people that I've seen before don't even have vans. They have cars, and they live in cars. So you can do it dead cheap. You can use the things that you've got. If you've already got a car or already got a van or whatever, you can use that. There's no need to spend a lot of money. You can survive for a while until you save money up and all that kind of stuff with stuff that you've already got. Food. I was going to do a cooking video, but in experience, like, cooking videos don't do that good. My wish list for tools. I've just bought a new little hand tool that does metal cable ties. I love it. I love that tool. We've just bought a table saw fairly recently, but we've not really used too much. But the multi-tool will always be king of all tools. Land Rover fan belts. This Land Rover's not chucked the fan belt off in about 3,000 miles, so I'm going to say that problem's resolved now, so we don't need to keep reminding me of it. EcoFlow products. This is the EcoFlow Delta 2, their latest, well, one of their latest products. I do need to make a video about it because they're getting a bit upset with me for not making a video about it, but if you were going to buy an EcoFlow product right now, the EcoFlow Delta 2 is the product that I would buy. And I'm not just saying that because it's the latest. As you know, I do actually really like EcoFlow products. I'm not just saying that. They don't pay me to say it. But the Delta 2 is amazing. It's got 2 PD ports on it, 4 USB ports, 2 of them are super fast charging. And it's got 4 240 plugs on it. Charges up from 0 to 80%, 0 to 100% in 80 minutes, 0 to 80% in an hour. So it's super fast at charging, and you can run your induction hob off that. You can run your air fryer off that. You can charge power tools off it. We've run our table saw off it and chop saw off it. So it's proper good. And that wasn't an advert. Somebody actually did ask it. Yeah, more people asking for cooking videos. It's not going to happen, I'm afraid. Pre-Vanlife, where are you from? From Sheffield. Who are my best friends? When I was not in Vanlife and in school and all that, one of my best friends was Paul. Paul hasn't featured in any videos, but is around still. I still speak to him, still see him. He actually lent us the Skoda Octavia VRS to go to Cardiff in. And actually, some of you don't know that Rick's just bought a Volkswagen Beetle, and he bought that off Paul as well. Somebody asking for diesel liters, day trip out on your bike. I've got some bike content, but it's not doing that good on here. It's not really a van, not really a bike channel, and I understand why a lot of you don't like it. So I'm just trying to drip feed other bits of my life in. Although this isn't a van life channel, and you should know that by now. This is Liam the Terrible's channel. A lot of you are here for the van content, so I understand that you don't like it. So I just try and drip feed little bits in, so you get used to it, the little other bits of my life and all that kind of stuff. Keeping warm. I'm in my t-shirt right now, no heating on. The van's currently 19 degrees, no heating on, so it's warm in here. I might put a jumper on in a bit. I like to put a jumper on before I get cold rather than put a jumper on when I get cold, because then I stay warm. But yeah, it's not that cold, and we're in November, so yeah, that's the answer to that one. What about the ants? The ants sadly passed away a long time ago, which was the queen died, which is quite common. It's just one of those things. It's sad, isn't it? I really like my ants. How's the rats? Oh, I forgot about the rats. So that one night that I had with the rats making a lot of noise and that, or rat making a lot of noise, didn't ever save anything ever again. And I've had cameras set up everywhere where the rat was coming. I sealed the hole up that I showed you with silver foil tape and all that kind of stuff. Not a single thing since then. Not a noise, not a scrape, nothing on camera, no signs whatsoever. Everything's sealed up. So I think it was just unlucky that one night, really, which was handy for me. How to install heating in a small car conversion. It's tricky, actually. I've had to just turn somebody down because they brought a small vehicle that needed a heater, and I was so limited for space. I just said I can't do this safely, so to turn it down. How to get rich? I'll let you know when I know. Top 5 worst vans to convert. Transit van, transit van, transit van, transit van, transit van. No money, no object. Would you consider an electric camper? Now, my opinion on electric vehicles is, until you've actually been and driven in a Tesla, don't fucking slag them off. Because if you're into cars, and you're into performance cars, and you're into fast cars, and you're into going fast and all that kind of thing, a Tesla blows away pretty much most things on the road. Now, I get that they don't sound good. They really don't sound good. And they're ugly. They're ugly looking cars. You cannot beat that performance. You put your foot down, it's fucking gone. Gone. Bye, Felicia. Right? It is super quick. No turbo lag. No nothing. It's just power. Right there. Almost 800 horsepower. You can't argue with that. Teslas are brilliant. Ugly. Don't sound good. But perform amazing. The technology in them for braking and all that kind of stuff is just amazing. Not a solar generator. Tough titties, because the Delta 2 is right there. I'll put a code in the description actually for a Delta 2 discount code or affiliate code or whatever. But the Delta 2 is amazing. Not just saying that. It just happens to be there. That's actually where that lives as well. It's always there. I use it to charge my phones, even though I've got other ports in here to charge my phone. I've got another one on the floor. This is a Delta Mini, but it's not charged at the minute. I just happen to have that here. I've got so many of them, I've just got them dotted about, but that's the new bad boy. Helicopters for rabbits. I don't really know anything about helicopters for rabbits. Condensation. I don't get condensation, but a good way of tackling condensation is by having dry heat, so like a diesel heater or a log burner, and ventilation. So have a fan, have your windows cracked open a little bit. As long as air's circulating, you should be good for condensation. And lastly, somebody said my Harley. Again, I touched on motorbike content. It has its place. I'm just trying not to overload the channel with motorbike content. I've done a few shorts recently and you do seem to be enjoying them, but I don't want to overload it too much. There are some videos coming out soon with a bit more motorbike content in it, but I've just tried to chill out with it. Anyway, listen, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the interactions that you do and all that kind of thing. It's been brilliant. And the channel growth at the minute is bloody good. I'm excited about it, and it's given me a bit of a boost, and it's given... Believe me when I say to you, in the background of Liam the Terrible, the actual Liam is going through some shit, right? Some serious, serious shit. That's enough to fucking destroy anybody's life, let's say, right? And I'm not just being dramatic like that. I'm going through something that's serious, right? This keeps me going. It keeps me sane. And right now, I notice the biggest difference between Liam the Terrible and Liam the actual Liam ever. The two people are completely separate. As soon as I turn this camera on, all the shit in my life disappears, and I am Liam the Terrible, and and that's it. And I am enjoying doing it at the moment, so that's why I'm doing so much of it. As soon as I turn this camera off, I'm not fucking afraid to say I'll be sobbing in a bit. Like I'm struggling right now with a lot of stuff. People around me know what. Some people around me know what I've got on and what it is. It's not something I want to go into because there are people on here that don't want to know what it is. And also I've got to try and protect some people's feelings on it and integrity on it and all that kind of stuff. So just understand that something very serious has happened in my life. So if I don't always respond to you right away, or if you visit and I'm quiet or I don't come out, it's because there's something happened or something happening around me. Anyway, I didn't want to do that. I just went on a tangent then. I just want to say thank you because you are keeping me going, and this talking to a camera thing is working. Anyway, I'll see you soon. I genuinely do appreciate you. I've got 24 minutes to edit this. I'll see you soon. Bye, Felicia.